All right. Hey everyone, welcome to this month's SIG Docs new contributor meet and greet call. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you all that as part of the Kubernetes community, we come under the we abide by the CNCF code of conduct, which basically boils down to be excellent to each other. So I wanted to remind you all of that before we get started. So with that out of the way, we can like get started with our call. So usually what we do here is we introduce ourselves and what we are currently trying to do in the project, or if you have any new if you are working on any contributions. So this is mostly for people who are like getting started, and as suggested by the name, this is specifically for SIG docs. So if you want to contribute to Kubernetes in general, we also have a new contributor orientation call that takes place on the third Tuesday of every month. And we have an Americas version as well as an APAC version for people from like all time zones. So that is a more general call, but this one is more specific to the documentation. So if you have any questions regarding like contributing to the Kubernetes documentation, like how can you get started, or if you have already gotten started, but if you need somebody to like help you out or like take a look at your PR or something like that, this is the call where we do that. I'll start by introducing myself, and yeah, if none of you have any questions, we can go through some common stuff that we talk about in each of these calls. So my name is Sridham. I live in India, and I work at DigitalOcean, and I've been contributing to Kubernetes for about like 2.5 years now, and I've been running these calls for the past year or so. And yeah, that's pretty much about me. I'm mostly active in the release team, and I also contributed to like SIG node, which is the special interest. So a SIG, if you are not familiar, stands for a special interest group, and the entire Kubernetes project is divided into like different SIGs with people who take care of like running that particular part of the project. So yeah, we are all like welcoming new contributors, and we are happy to have you here. So yeah, no worries, Cleo. This is perfectly fine. We don't need to mandatorily speak on the call.
Perfect. I think I can go next if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Perfect. Hi guys, I'm Tumin. I'm from India as well, but I'm based out of Poland. I work in a company called Push Owl. Earlier, I used to be an lead community coordinator with Open Archives, where I was maintaining open library. I'm not sure if you've heard of Wayback Machine, but the same people, Internet Archives. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Right. I'm new to CNCF community. I have been specifically interested in a couple of projects. So this was just like me getting to know the folks around, how is the community doing? And I do have a couple of, I would say, bugs which I found out, and I wasn't sure where I should report it to. And it would be just nice to look at other people. Yeah. So that is why I joined the call. Uh, I am not particularly, I would say, part of SIG docs. I mean, I am mostly focusing on contributing via code or something like that, but we'll see. It'll be nice to even contribute wherever I can.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. We all like one of the advice that people give for like contributors are trying to get started is to like sample all of the different communities and like the different parts of the project and see what works for you. And like even I have done that in the past. So yeah, happy to have you all here. So I can talk about like getting started with like the documentation. Uh, but if you all have any like specific questions that you would like to get answered before that, I can help with that too.
Perfect. This one is specifically related to the welcome messages which we got on the Slack channel whenever you try to, let's say, get yourself invited to Kubernetes Slack community. I got a welcome bot notification as well, and couple of links were kind of broken. So I wasn't sure where I should report it to, right? I have like prepared places where it's going off. I can share the screen or maybe later, report it to somebody. Yeah, so this is the first question. And the next question which I have is to understand which companies are managing which projects or which SIG, which could be closely aligned with, because I saw one of the projects which was closely maintained by folks from Microsoft, and it'll be really cool. But if I'm contributing to a project which have more people like me, it would be much more easier to communicate and contribute. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I think I get you, but I'll answer your first question first.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the, like, are you talking about the Kubernetes Slack, or is this about the CNCF Slack?
No, Kubernetes Slack.
Okay, so if you're talking about Kubernetes Slack, then we have a Slack admins channel. So that is Slack hyphen admins. I'm
All
not
right.
entirely sure if that comes under the documentation project. Like the message that you see when you join the first time,
Exactly.
I'm not sure if that comes under like documentation, but this would be the right place to ask your question. There are folks who would be there in the channel who would be able to help you out with fixing that.
Oh, perfect.
And
All right.
yeah, that's the place for the Slack admin stuff. And about your second question, I am not sure if a particular company is running an entire part of the project, because even though it used to be like that in the past, since the Kubernetes was started at Google, things have branched out now, and that is even though people are affiliated to different companies, all the development that goes on is still under the open source like ecosystem. And even though there are like companies who have a good representation, I don't think there is a single part of the project which is entirely run by a like a single company. I don't think there is any part of the project that is still run by a single company. So uh,
Oh, perfect. All right. That is
I'm not
nice.
sure if that was the answer you were looking for, but yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to be accepted, let's say. Because if
Oh,
it's
that.
maintained by, this one big of group of people, and they'd be not, let's say, friendly for open up and, things like that. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
once I'll get started, it'll be easier.
Yeah, and I understand, like I genuinely understand like where you're coming from, but I can assure you that that is not the case, even though we might feel overwhelmed seeing all the folks from different companies who are working on uh, things which might be part of their work too. Like there are folks who are like getting paid to like do open source work on open source or upstream projects as part of their job, but I can assure you that there wouldn't be any, like you wouldn't face any issues just because you're not part of a company, because I've seen people who are who come from all different kinds of backgrounds, and like even folks who come from a non-CS background, and like them getting into the community and
Oh,
doing
perfect.
stuff.
All right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the key is to like be persistent, so uh, you'll get to do stuff. It's all right.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Thank you. That's a great answer.
Thanks. uh Yeah, Cleo, did you have anything? I understand that you are not able to like turn on your mic, but if you have anything, you can post it in the messages and I can answer your questions. All right. So I will like try to give a very short summary of what we do here at SIGDocs. So uh, I get that both of you folks are like not familiar with SIGDocs, so I can share that. All right. Just give me 1 second. So the website for Kubernetes is kubernetes.io, and the code for all of this website, as well as the documentation, which you can find here, like all the files with the text for the documentation is in this repo called Kubernetes/website. And this is currently a Hugo website. Like this is a Hugo project, and this is where all the code for the website and the documentation lies. So what SIG Docs does is SIG Docs is responsible for managing the documentation as well as the website, which might involve some like some web development kind of work. So although that is not very common, since most of this is in place for a long time, that also comes under the purview of SIGDocs. So if you go under issues, like these are the kind of things I share usually in these calls, because we are helping, like trying to help out folks get started with contributing to Kubernetes by making their first PR in the documentation. So this is a very easy way to like get started, even though even if you're not really like technically familiar with Kubernetes or like all parts of the project, you can still make your first contribution uh, through SIG Docs, and like use this to get your org membership and all of that. So the org membership means that you'll be added to the GitHub org, and in order to get yourself added here, you need to show that you have made some contributions, like link to some of your pull requests or something like that. So we have like labels, like good first issue and so on. And if you're part of the Slack channels, uh, so if you're part of the Slack channels, like there are folks who post good first issues in the channel itself, like SIG Docs or SIG Docs localization, if you're into like writing or translating the docs into different languages. So that is another project that is run by SIG Docs. So if you click on this drop down, you can read the entire Kubernetes documentation in any uh, other language than English. And maybe you do have like Bahasa Indonesian and like whole different language, like whole a lot of languages from different parts of the world, and there are people who are running these projects, running the initiative of like getting these translated. So if you're familiar with a non-English language, that is another way you can get started contributing. It is not familiar to be a Kubernetes member to be able to contribute. And how much merge requests we have to create in order to become a member, that depends. Uh, I would say that depends on the kind of changes that you're making. So if it is a considerably uh, big, I wouldn't want to say the word big, but if it is something that you put a lot of effort into, then you can even with that single pull request or a single contribution, you might be able to get your org membership. And it is not at all necessary to have the org membership to be able to contribute, but it is the next step in your contribution journey. So a lot of people, when they get started, they have that in mind. So that's why I had mentioned that. But yeah, there are good first issues which are like most of them seems to be assigned to somebody, but uh, a lot of the issues here are not triaged itself, so you wouldn't even know if an issue is a good first issue. So it might be a good first issue, and you can see this needs triage label. That means that the reviewer or approver of SIG docs have not gone through this. But in the case of a accepted issue, somebody has gone through the issue, and they've confirm that this is something that we would need to like add to the documentation, or this issue is tried so somebody can work on it now. So there are a lot of issues. This is one way to get started by get started like making your contribution. The other way is that you can go through the docs itself, and if you find some mistakes which are not already like caught by other folks, then you can like go ahead and open a PR or open an issue and open a corresponding PR. Like if you feel like a particular section of the docs can be made better, or like can be written in a better manner or something like that. We also have pull request reviewers. So we have something called PR Wrangler. So the PR Wrangler is a role where I'll show you the charter for that. So we have in the wiki for the Kubernetes website repo, we have this schedule for 2025, where you can see who is the PR Wrangler for each week. And all of these folks who are approvers are the ones who take turns and review PRs each week. So for any particular week. So this is the week of June 1st. So this week, Natalie is the one who is the PR wrangler. So Natalie would be going through all the open pull requests and will be reviewing them. And when I say review, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go through the changes and like review it in a technical sense. You can also like in this particular case, like this is not a good example, but there are cases where the changes that they're trying to make might be related to a particular SIG, like SIG node or SIG API machinery or something. And that label might not have been added here. So we can review this. I mean, like uh, somebody adding this label itself is like a review of the PR. We are taking a look at the PR and then we are like assigning it to a particular SIG. That itself is a review. And what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to be technically used to that particular topic. You don't need to know the internals of how a particular thing works. You don't need to like technically validate the documentation. Even doing like this cleanup and like housekeeping kind of stuff is also under the duties of PR wranglers. And the PR wranglers have a shadow program, so we can sign up as a shadow for a particular week. I see that the next week's slot is empty, and Tim is the PR wrangler. So if you're interested in shadowing him and learning how all of like most of SIGDocs works, you'll learn how PRs are reviewed and how we add like LGTM and like approved labels and how we get them merged, and like you can get to learn the entire process by shadowing them and like, assisting them in that process. And yeah, just give me a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so the PR Wrangler program is available if you would like to get to learn how SIGDocs works, and this is also a very like a low commitment thing. You can sign up for a week, and you'll just have to like do that for a week. And it also depends on who you're shadowing. Each person might have their own way of how they go through PRs, and yeah, you can if you find it interesting, you can come back and like do that full time. I see we have someone new joining. Hi, Stanley. We had gotten started some time back, and we are almost at the end of the call. But if you would like to introduce yourself and if you have any questions, we can talk about that. Uh, yeah, to answer your question, you can ping them in the Slack, in Slack, or you can also reach out in the SIGDocs channel in Slack asking, like you can tag the like if you're planning to shadow for like the week of June 29th, you can ping like Tim. This would be like the handle that they've given here would be their Slack username as well. So you can probably tag them in Slack, and yeah, they can add you here in the charter. Yeah, that is pretty much like most of what I have. If you have any questions regarding like contributing or like anything in general related to Kubernetes, you can reach out to me on Slack, or you can find me if you search for my username. I can share it here. Yeah, you feel free to ping me on Slack. I can help you make your first PR or uh, work on work on like helping you with the first contribution. Uh, Awesome. We have 4 more minutes. If we have any other questions, we can talk about them, or we can wind up the call. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So this question is regarding the battles of bots, I would say. What I've seen in couple of SIGs and couple of projects, a lot of people, I wouldn't call it fighting, but if I am working on the issue and because of some reason I'm working asynchronously, I'm not able to finish my PR, it is taking longer than usual. I see a lot of other people trying to assign it again to, them, and the bot kind of
Hmm.
assigns them. And then I see a clash, and it's a back and forth of, oh, I'm working on it. Have you finished
Right.
it? So how does that really work out? Like if I'm working on, let's say, docs, and assuming, this would be a very small change. For example, if it's a broken link, right? And if I'm still working on it, right? And if somebody just gets it, how do we resolve it?
Right. I agree that that is like I would say it's a more of a process problem, and like we can't obviously stop folks from assigning things to themselves because they might not be doing it. Like I mean, they might not be aware that you're working on it. So I guess I guess one thing we can do is to keep your updates posted on the issue itself, so that if at all someone like reads the issue, they know clearly that you are already working on it. And if you have opened a PR, like you can tag the issue there so that PR would be mentioned in the issue also. And on top of that, you can like mention that you're like just post a message in the issue that you are working on it and that you've opened this PR, so that next time somebody
Oh,
tries to claim
perfect.
that issue, they
They're aware of what's really happening.
yeah,
Okay, cool,
yes,
cool.
yeah. And there are cases where this can happen reasonably as well if the contributor has been gone, like if they have not, if there are no updates for like a year or like two
Oh,
years or
yeah,
something like that, yeah, people usually
yeah.
like
Yeah.
even the
These
approvers
are
themselves, they
zombies.
might
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, so there is no like clear answer, I would say, but the best we can do is like keep our updates posted just so that people know that we are working on it.
Perfect. Okay. One last question, not related to dogs or nothing in general. How do I keep track of what all sort of meetings are really happening? I went through
Right.
Kubernetes calendar and I did import it to my calendar, and I see a lot of things which are happening, and I was not sure that, which one is really, uh, let's say, uh, affiliated, or let's say more inclined towards what I'm supposed to be doing. I did go through that. I also imported the calendar, and right now we
Right,
just
right.
have like so many calls happening every day.
Yep, yep. Yeah, so usually if people are not aware of this, this is one resource that I like share a lot, and like it's great that you've already like gone through this and have added like stuff to your own calendar. And answering your question, like how do you figure out what works best for you? I would like repeat what I said initially. Like you have to sample the entire space, and like it
Oh,
is
perfect.
a
Okay. Right, right,
trial and
right.
error kind of thing. But yeah, it is a trial and error kind of thing. I've been to a lot of meetings uh, because I was curious, and in the beginning I didn't even know like how things work. So I used to like join random meetings, and I later realized after a meeting or two that that's not really my thing, and I kind of like found my way around stuff. So it is a trial and error process. And you can also join the Slack channel. So if you're uh, thinking of joining the SIG Windows meeting, for example, you can look for the Slack channels of SIG Windows and see the kind of discussions that are going on there. And we also have this Kubernetes/community report uh, where you have there is a folder for each SIG. So, for example, if I open SIG Windows, we can see the mailing list. So you can join the mailing list or read the discussions that have happened there previously, and you can find the meeting notes. So if I read these, like you don't really need to join the meeting itself to see what is going on. That might be of interest, and they would also have usually like the list of people who are like leading this particular group and the channels that are associated with them, and oops, and yeah, they would also usually have a little guide on how you can get started. And I see that they have like a contributing.md file. So you'll know everything that you need to work with SIG Windows in this case, like how you can run their tests and what are the different processes that they're following and so on. Another example that I'd like to show is SIG Node. So SIG Node also has their own like detailed documentation of how you can get started with contributing to SIG Node, and they have a lot of links and stuff like that. And yeah, these are all like interesting information that depending on what SIG you're interested in, you might find like really cool stuff. Yeah, and if at all you have any difficulty or if you have any questions, you can reach out to the people in the SIG Node channel, or if you need to like know more, or if you need to like talk to someone specifically, you can probably talk to any of the SIG chairs or tech leads. They might be able to help you with
Oh,
this
this is
queries.
great help, great resource. Thank you for this. I wasn't aware of this part. I was just going through all Slack channels and trying to find who's the, most contributor
Mm.
and trying to message them. But yeah, this would be a great resource. Thank you for this.
Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, yeah. The repository is Kubernetes/community,
Community. Yeah.
and share the link in the chat. So we are at time. So if you don't have anything else, we can like wind up our call. But feel free to like message me on Slack, or yeah, Slack is probably the best place where you can reach me. Yeah, I'll be happy to help you out with getting started contributing. All right. Yeah, thanks folks for joining. I hope you had like a useful call. This usually happens just once a month, so we don't see a lot of folks. Uh, but
Looking
yeah,
forward
it's
to
so
the first contribution, I'd say.
awesome. Awesome. We are happy to have you here, and we look forward to seeing you more as well. All right. I'm going to stop the recording now.